Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning back into Relevant Jukebox. And today we're going to talk about the newest film from Sam Mendes, 1917. So before I get into this review here, this will be a fair warning. If you have not seen 1917 yet, there will be some spoilers coming down the line in this review. So I do suggest going out and seeing this film, and if you have already seen it, then you have nothing to worry about. So 1917 is a period piece World War I film that was directed by Sam Mendes, and Sam is actually responsible for directing one of my favorite movies of all time, American Beauty. And recently he's kind of stepped out and started making more big budget productions, but he is still kind of birthed out of like the art house scene. And a lot of that certainly carries over here onto this 1917 film. And what's also interesting about this film is actually how it was shot. The main cinematographer on here is the legend Roger Deakins, who in my opinion is pretty much one of the best cinematographers the industry's had to offer over the years. He's responsible for works such as like Shawshank Redemption, The Big Lebowski, No Country for Old Men, and he's also teamed up with Sam Mendes previously on a really solid installment in the James Bond franchise at Skyfall. So going into this movie, I did expect it to be pretty gorgeous looking, and it pretty much delivers on that front. This movie is somewhat of a technical wonder, as the entire thing is designed to feel like it is one sequence shot. And I gotta say, for the most part, they actually deliver on this. If you weren't paying attention, I'm sure you might have not seen some of the spots where they do edit it, and they do disguise their edits on here pretty well at a couple times when they go into like a dark tunnel, and also at the end when one of the main characters is jumping into a river. And I mean, I think that is pretty much the biggest appeal of this film, is that raw kind of like in the moment feeling that you get with these characters in World War I, not really like it's ever been depicted before. The production design and the costumes are super high quality and very convincing. You also see a lot of dead bodies in this movie as you're following these two characters. Now, with a film that's shot like this in this sort of experimental way, it does kind of come off as an experiment overall, in my opinion. The story of this movie follows two young soldiers as they're summoned by their commanding officer to go out on a mission, and as you find out, it is one of the soldiers' brothers that they're going to try and connect with in a company that's far away. And honestly, for the most part, that is the story of this film, and pretty much my big issue with this movie. It kind of lacks substance, especially with a lot of the characters on here. Both of these two guys just have absolutely zero personality, honestly. One of the main characters, Lance Corporal Schofield, I don't really know anything about the dude, if he likes dogs, what his favorite color is. I mean, this dude is literally just a body on screen, honestly. And the other main character, Lance Corporal Blake, is actually a little bit more in depth. You find out he has a brother, but that's kind of it. And from there, we're kind of just projected along this like adventure of sorts to get to this company to find his brother. And I mean, this movie to me overall comes off like a film where nothing meant anything, honestly. Because I mean, right in the opening scene, when they take off, Lance Corporal Schofield, he cuts his hand, and it's like this really kind of drawn out shot and thing that happens, but that never comes back to really affect him. He also sets off a bomb a little bit later that you think he gets killed by, and he should have gotten killed by, but he just kind of shakes it off. And also the other main character, Lance Corporal Blake, who you're actually going to search for his brother, is killed halfway through the movie, and it's almost like all the motivation is kind of like, why am I watching this now? Because I mean, overall for me, with a war film specifically, yes, you are feeling empathy for the characters because they're out there fighting a war, obviously. But if I'm not really able to kind of like latch on to any parts of their personalities, feel empathy for who they are as people, then I just kind of don't really care about anything that happens to these characters throughout this film, which is pretty much exactly what happens. And I mean, we kind of just trolley-la with some decent action along the way, but just kind of ends with a pretty lackluster finish, kind of singing Kumbaya. So I mean, overall, I'm pretty torn with this film as a whole. I mean, I do think it's a technical wonder, and I gotta give props to Roger Deakins and Sam Mendes for pulling this off, because it does look pretty beautiful at times, and the camera work and the editing and the sound mixing is pretty masterful, and I mean, they should be winning Oscars for this, in my opinion. But all of this technical wonder and color and extravagance just kind of suffocates the main storyline and the characters and the core of what makes a good film a good film. I mean, this is no Saving Private Ryan over here, and yeah, I know that's not World War I, but yeah, I don't know. With all that being said, I'm feeling a 6 over here on 1917. So if you did see this movie, what did you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video and want more content from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'd really appreciate it if you drop a like down below so more people can see it and share it. Peace.